Just put together these four things: chord, scale, chord, a different scale, and double stops, and then you don't even need a jam track. Just apply it to whatever chord sequence you're using, like this. So in this video, I'm going to show you that whole thing step by step, but generally speaking, if you want to be able to play guitar and accompany yourself by having like a bit of solo, a bit of chords, and other tricks, a great way to go about that is just to use this system, you could call it, where you play a chord, you play some scale, you play the next chord, and then you play a different scale, and then you use double stops. It's a way of simplifying it. Otherwise, it's like we have too many choices to make. And then you just apply that to whatever chord progression you're doing. So here we have a 12 bar in C, right? So the first thing in the tabs there is you can see I just played a C major chord because I want to establish the key, I want to establish the first chord. And that's the first step, is chord, right? And then the second step is scale. So I just played a lick that was C major pentatonic, with a bit of a slide, right? And then what's the next step? The next step is chord. So there's the next chord of the 12 bar, which is an F7. And then the next step is to play a different scale. So instead of major pentatonic, I played minor pentatonic. That's minor pentatonic, right? And then the last step is double stops. So I'm going to do double stops over the next two bars. That's bars 3 and 4 of the 12 bar. I've got so put that together, it's chord, scale, chord, different scale, double stops, and it fits over the 12 bar. So we've got chord, scale, chord, different scale, and then double stops. Right? Those are just sixes double stops. If we think of sixes as starting from here, we've done a lot of these on our Patreon. Right? That walks up. And then this is an extra little trick for sixes double stops. Works great for blues. Basically, if you're taking these C6s and slide them down like that, you get basically like a C7 sound. Sounds like that a bit, right? So, it's a nice move. Good one for a bluesy situation. Okay, so now we've been through our sequence once. Let's just do the sequence again over the next chord changes. So we're gonna have chord, scale, chord, different scale, double stops. But the chords are different now. We're gonna have two measures of the 4 chord, in this case, F. So I'm gonna hit this F. I'm gonna play the chord in a different way just to keep it interesting. And then I have a bit of scale. That's C minor pentatonic, right? That lick. And then chord is next. I'm just going to play the F7 that is still an F7, right? So I have to play F7, but I'm going to play it in a different place to keep it interesting. And then I have to play a different scale. So I'm going to play this, a pretty wild thing. That's like an arpeggio. We have the major third. This note would be the 5th of F, right? There's a bit of minor pentatonic with the blue note. That's like C minor pentatonic. It's basically just C minor pentatonic, except that I started on that note from the F7 chord. So I started on that major third of F7. A very different sound, right? And now what's my next step is always double stops when we're using this method. So I'm going to play the double stops in a different way. Whoa. Now I have to say that's a heck of a lot of double stops, and that's kind of a lick that I've memorized. I don't think that I would just be able to pull that out any minute. Well, I can because I've memorized it. So you can memorize it too. You can steal it from me. I don't mind. I just combined these sixes. That's all from the same sixes system that we just talked about, right? But in a different order. That's sixes again, and then again lower, and the root. Woo, that's a long ways around, hey? And that's the root to resolve that, right? That's a really cool sequence. And then, well, I had a little bit of more space there, so I thought, well, I might as well finish with more double stops. That's a common blues lick, really, right? A lot of people would say that's like a 9 chord to a 6. It's a very common move in blues. You probably recognize this. But instead of having all the chords, I just had the middle notes there. And I was just looking to resolve it. Pretty nice. And then there's that blues thing again, right? That's a long sequence. Woo! I do like that one. Okay, now we're gonna do our sequence again. We're gonna do the last 4 bars, and we're gonna fit the sequence of chord, scale, chord, different scale, double stops on the last 4 bars. So what do I have in bar 9? I have a 5 chord, right? So I gotta hit a 5 chord of some sort and use that same shape. It's kind of a jazzy shape that I like to use, especially in blues because it's small, it's really portable, right? It's nice. Now, where are those notes coming from? Those notes are coming from G major pentatonic. That's our 5 chord here, right? G would be like that. And whenever I have a root here on G, I know my major pentatonic scale is... That's what I call shape 5 or symmetrical shape. And it has a blue note, right? It has a blue note on the B string. And so I'm just thinking that jazzy G7 shape and playing up that scale and using that as a finishing note. And so that's my chord then scale. Now I have chord in different scales comes up next, right? And that's good because I have a different chord anyway. I've got a 4 chord. So I'm just gonna go down to the 4 chord. And now I'm supposed to use a different scale, but it's easy because now I'm on F, so I'm going to use F major pentatonic. Think about it, I just did G, so G major pentatonic, now I'm doing F, so F major pentatonic. And I can literally just do the same lick. It works out so good, right? F. And now I'm supposed to do double stops. Well, that's really easy in a 12 bar because there's so many turnarounds that have double stops in them anyway. That's a kind of octaves double stops there. This is a classic turnaround, right? Nothing to it. So when you think about this method, you could apply it to any song, any chord sequence. One of the things that I'm trying to do sometimes as a teacher, especially when I'm teaching improvisation, is that students often find themselves in situations where they don't know what to play because there's just too many options. And sometimes taking the decisions away from the student by giving them a specific structure, it helps them to focus and then just be sort of more brave to try things out. So in this case, this is what I've done, is I've taken away some of your decision making and I've said to you specifically, you've got to go do chord, scale, chord, different scale, double stops. And with those variations, that is so much, right? That is guaranteed to make your 12-bar blues have tons of different elements. And that's what we have here. And in the next 12 bars, which again is going to be part 2, and that's going to be in our Patreon, so you can sign up for that for free. Check it out. I think you'll like it. There's hundreds of videos on there. But let's go through that once more quickly. And what you could also do is play your own licks. You don't have to play exactly these licks. You've probably got a lot of pentatonic licks on your own already. But here we go. So I've got C, right? And then I thought, here's my scale, C major pentatonic. And then I've got chord, and happens to be a different chord on the 12 bar, so I've got F7. And I need a different scale, so I do C minor pentatonic. And now we're back on the 1 chord in the 12 bar blues, and I need double stops. So I'm just gonna do this classic. Right? Now I got F7, I gotta do restart the system. I got F7. That's my scale. Chord. That's my other scale, it's a wild one. And then I need double stops for C again. I'm back on C. Ooh. That one's wild, right? Now I've got 5 chord, and I'm restarting my system again. Chord, scale, double stop. So I got the chord, and I got scale, and then we could do a lick here. Major pentatonic, right? Chord, and a lick here, different scale, but that's easy. It's F major pentatonic. Turnaround is already double stops for us. Now, combining all those elements does take a lot of practice, and we have lots of videos like this one that will help you develop the ability to see the chords and the scales overlapping. That's what we need to be able to do on the fretboard so that we can quickly shift from chord to scale. And if you want to do the second half of this whole thing with us, join us on Patreon. It's free for 7 days. You might as well try it out. I hope to see you there.